Uh-oh, Richard! Oh, wow! Wow!
Crazy times we live in. How's your temper holding up? You may want to hold on to it this week. Let it simmer instead of explode. Also, this week, random ideas and projects may start popping up as we kick off the void month. But longevity is another story. We may be a bit tempted to spend and invest too, but is it wise to do it? Hello everyone, welcome to Astro Reader PH and thanks for dropping by for some astrology. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard about that fiasco at the Oscars. Yes, I know, I'm tired of hearing about it too. But this is an astrology channel, so I have a duty to tell you it likely resulted from all the wild Aries energy we've been having recently. Is it scripted? Doesn't really matter, because it still manifests that energy. As mentioned last week, before all this happened, Mercury in Aries is both combust and swift in motion, so this is causing a lot of arguments to say the least. There's an overdrive of mental energy, and it's in a hurry, so people are pretty impatient and direct now, which can lead to conflicts. It's not over, so this week will continue that energy, but an added bonus will be Mars conjunct Saturn in Aquarius around April 4 to 5. What this can do is make the conflicts last longer. And if we get mad, it will be a smoldering kind of anger, not something that evaporates quickly. So some patience would be important this week. The positive thing about this energy is that it could be used for deliberate, grueling work, hard work that takes time. Grit. It's good for endurance sports as well. Actually, that's a great way to blow off the steam. Since this combination is in Aquarius, cyber warfare could be highlighted as well. Remember that we mentioned this in last week's video, and true enough, we got one of the biggest crypto heists last week. So as I mentioned, it's wise to keep your digital assets secure these days. One other thing we've been talking about is that war of attrition or supply war we've been seeing in Ukraine. Because of Saturn, it's been moving slower and more tortuously than we might want. As Mars passes Saturn this week, it breaks away from the chains, so we might see bolder moves from this week onward, particularly from Putin. This could speed up the tempo of the war, as we will next discuss. We have some explosive energies dropping towards the end of the week. Mercury in Aries is about to go bye-bye, and it won't leave without some fireworks. Around April 8 to 9, we see a T-square with the Aries Sun and Mercury as apex. This empowers these planets greatly, so we have aggressive, combative energies those days. This is also Mercury's last push in Aries, before it moves to Taurus. So we could see a final wave of arguments or other conflicts, a final push of people rushing to do as many things as possible, a last hooray of hastiness and offensive verbal attacks. So just think twice before you say what's on your mind to avoid complications. Especially around the 10th and 11th when Mercury goes void, because our communication could be pretty vague during this time. We could have the wrong idea about things, so mental tasks could not end up the way we expect. So avoid signing any contracts or making agreements during this time, and expect some delays or complications when it comes to logistics and other Mercury-related areas. Anyway, as I said in my last video, we're fresh into the void month now. The void month is the period between the last new moon before the next solar eclipse and the next solar eclipse. And this period is generally not favorable when it comes to starting major projects like launching a business or getting married. One of our viewers, Voodoo Lou, brought up a very good question about the void month. What if you have a lot of stuff planned for the void month? Are you destined to fail? That's a nice question, so thanks for asking, Voodoo Lou. So when it comes to the long-term success of projects or activities, the void month could really mess up some expectations. It's not gonna mess up the immediate success of things, but rather the longevity of them. So you gotta look at the project or event as a whole and how long-term you want it to be. Getting a job to break ground on a lifelong career is different from getting a job to pay this month's bills. In the former case, you'd probably want to avoid the void month, but it shouldn't hurt in the latter case. That's why big events like weddings should not be done during void periods, in my opinion. You can see this in the case of Miley and Liam's void month wedding. When we enter these void periods, we may feel a little lost and aimless. But we also enter the abyss of possibilities, so it's not uncommon to see people trying out new things. We could see random events or plans come up too, as people are in an experimental mood. But these plans and events are unlikely to have a strong foundation, and they may fail in the long run. So I wouldn't put much stock on what's allegedly going on these days. Take it with a grain of salt. That isn't to say we shouldn't enjoy these void periods. In fact, void months can work in our favor if we know how to use them. Like, if you're not looking for longevity, then the void period could help. This is also a great time to explore and experiment until the next solar eclipse arrives and we settle on a more solid direction. In a way, it's like Vegas. What happens in it stays in it. In relation to that, I would be extra careful when it comes to money and resources this month. As mentioned last week, Pluto is stationary direct, which makes it quite powerful. It has the slow, deliberate effect of a steamroller. Pluto is a risk-taking planet that loves luxury, so we could be itching to spend and invest right now. That's where the danger could come in. In the short term, this week, Venus goes void around April 4 to 5, so I would avoid any major expenditures on those days. These void planets are really potent, you know. Just recently, I broke a cardinal rule of not doing business during void of course moons, and I lost a fair amount, so take note. Anyway, in the bigger scale, Venus transits Pisces from April 5 to May 2 as well. And as we know, Jupiter and Neptune are also in Pisces, creating a lot of confusion and illusion there. So when Venus gets thrown into the mix, our assets could get entangled with all that confusion as well. But that said, I have to say I feel so honored to see Venus, Jupiter, and Neptune all together in Pisces, since they are powerhouses in this sign. While this can cloud reality somewhat, it's a beautiful energy for art, beauty, escape, journeys, compassion, dreams, and spirituality. So we should enjoy it for what it is as well. All I'm saying is that your wallet doesn't really need to burn to have a good experience, especially since we have the upcoming solar eclipse in Taurus towards the end of the month, which can do a number on our finances. But that's another story. Finally, we're this close to the upcoming Jupiter-Neptune conjunction. If you've been following my videos, you're probably well aware of this combination by now. Slowly, over the past months, it's been working on behalf of the solar eclipse in Sagittarius to build up to a mass awakening. Patiently, it's been exposing the lies and uncovering truths one by one. So if you've been feeling disillusioned or confused recently, you may realize that this is the process of awakening to a new understanding of things. We are in a fog or smokescreen of sorts, and we're slowly inching closer to the light. This may not be easy for some, and there could be hard feelings unearthed in the process. So this is a good time to seek some divine guidance, especially if we feel lost. Meditation and prayer could go a long way. And that's it. Thanks for watching the astrology of April 4 to 10. Please like and subscribe for more astrology. Thanks. Goodbye.